I'm just gonna stir this up a little bit just to make sure that everything's melting, and it's doing really good. Hi y'all, I wanted to talk with you about beef tallow. That is what I'm getting ready to render here. I've just rendered some already, and this was actually a several day process, and I just canned it in the pressure cooker. So it hasn't hardened up yet, but I have some more here. And so I was going to take you through the process of rendering it, what it is, what it's good for, and all that. Some people I know probably don't know what beef tallow is, but basically it's the fat that you would find like around the kidneys or the loins, and it can be used for so many different things. You can use it for cooking, for frying, for skin care, moisturizer. You can even use it like on a squeaky hinge or something like that. You can use it to season your cast iron skillets if you have a cast iron skillet, leather conditioning, all kinds of uses. Now, where do you get it? We usually try to buy all of our food as much as we can, especially our meat. We buy it from a local farmer here, and so we'll buy like a quarter of a cow at a time. I had bought a bunch of tallow from him also, or asked him to include tallow. He did not charge me for this tallow because a lot of times it just gets thrown away when they're doing the butchering of a cow. And if you're already going to be buying part of a cow, then you're basically paying for it anyway. So I asked for all the tallow he could give me. So I've already got this, but I've got 6 quarts already. And this will probably get me another 6 quarts. If you're not buying from a farm, you can go to a butcher and you can ask the butcher for tallow. So tallow is easy to get. You just have to go request it and ask for it. It's not going to be like on your grocery store shelf. So anyway, when I get it, they just give it in chunks. They don't cut it up or anything. If I asked them to, they probably would, but then that might cost me a little bit more for their time and effort of cutting it up or grinding it. We happen to have a grinder, so I just have my husband grind it for me. And you can see it looks like hamburger meat, other than it's a lot more fat, because that's basically what it is the fat. There is meat attached to some of this, but that's okay. In the rendering process, it's all going to get cleaned up, and that beef meat will come out because we'll strain it and all this. I'm going to let this sit all night long. I am going to use the water method to begin with, and then later in the process I will stop adding water. The reason I like the water method, from what I've seen online, it gives a much cleaner smell, and especially I plan to like make some lotions and some soaps and maybe even candles out of it. So I don't want it to smell like beef. So by doing the water method, it tends to make it a cleaner product where it doesn't smell like beef. I don't know if you can see in there very good or not, but it has started to melt. And you want to only melt this on a very low temperature because you don't want to basically burn it or cook it. You just want it to melt. And so I've got it on 150. I don't know if you can see the front, but I've got the roaster on 150. I'm going to add water to this and some salt. The salt is going to help pull out the impurities. So I'm just gonna put the lid on this and then just let it sit. I might stir it a little bit later just to kind of mix things up, but I'm just gonna let it sit on 150 all night long, and then I will come and show you tomorrow what I'm doing next. There you go. Okay, I'm just gonna stir this up a little bit. Just to make sure that everything's melting, and it's doing really good. When you get tallow, you don't have to grind it. You can just have it cut up really small. You can cut it up yourself if you want, but I find it's easiest if you grind it. You get the most out of it and it melts faster. That's why if you do cut it up, you want to cut it up in small pieces. And this temperature is not so hot that you can't put your finger in it. You don't, if you can't put your finger in it, it's too hot. Okay. So now it's just going to keep sitting here overnight, but I don't know if you could see now that I broke all that up, that has sunk to the bottom and it's not floating on the top as much as it was. So we're back and it's Sunday morning, or Sunday afternoon really, and this has been going all night. I had it down as low as it would go overnight, but then after I got home from church, I actually turned it back up to 150. And we are ready to get started. But before I do that, I wanted to show you, this is the tallow that I did yesterday, that I canned yesterday. It is shelf stable now. I can leave it on my shelf for 2 years. Anyway, this is what it looks like. And whenever I get ready, if I want to use it for cooking, if I want to use it to make soaps, lotion, moisturizer, anything like that, it's ready for me. It's ready to go. It's cleaned, been rendered, all the yuck has been taken out of it. So yeah, I'm just ready to put this on my shelf, and I labeled my jar and put a date on it just so that in the future I would know when I process this. So I'm going to move these out of the way, and I'm going to bring a bowl over here, and then we are going to start skimming out the bits and pieces from here. And then once we do that, we're gonna take the tallow, which has water in it, remember, because we put water in it, and we're gonna put it in a bowl like this. These metal bowls work great because after it hardens in here, then you can kind of pull a little bit on the bowl and it'll release from the edge, and then you can push down and it'll just like flip out, you know. So these metal bowls work great for that. If you don't have a metal bowl, you can use any kind of bowl. It just might be harder to like get it to release from the edge. I did, before I realized I could pull on that bowl a little bit, I just would push down, and it was a little bit harder, but eventually I got it to where it would flip, you know. So anyway, let me move these out of the way for now, and I'm gonna stand on my stool, because if you haven't watched many of my videos in the kitchen yet, you'll soon come to realize I'm up and down on a stool all the time. I'm vertically challenged, and cabinet heights are not really made for my height. So anyway, you can see this is the beef, and I'm just going to basically strain it and put it in this bowl. Now, if you have chickens or backyard chickens, I know, you know, my channel is mostly for people that are trying to homestead in urban communities, but that doesn't mean that you couldn't possibly have a backyard chicken. You could give this to your backyard chicken if you wanted. So this is just going to take a little bit of time just to scoop it out. It's been rendered pretty much as it's going to render. So because I've ground all of this, it's in much smaller pieces. If you don't grind it, you'll sometimes get what they call cracklings, which is little crunchy bits. I don't know if it makes a difference. I've not ever done it that way. Mine has never been crunchy. And maybe it's because I just grind it. I don't know. But after it going all night and for several hours, I think it's melted all that it's going to melt. Okay, so now we have taken all of the bits and pieces out, and now I've got this. It's just 100% cotton, like a flour sack type dish towel. I just bought them on Amazon. And I'm just going to put it in this big bowl. I kind of like it because I can just put it in there, and then I can lift up and strain everything through it. Now all I am going to do is just start This is kind of hot. I could pick it up, but it's also a lot in here, and I don't want to risk dropping it. And so I'm just going to take my time and do this until I can get enough out of it to where I can pick it up. The other thing to be careful of when you're putting this hot oil into this metal pan is, because your oil is hot and because this is a metal bowl, it will get warm as well. If I wouldn't have had the rubber band on it, then I would just fill the whole bowl up, and then I would have to sit there and wait on it to drain out. That's why I kind of got the rubber band, is because I didn't know how long it would be that I would be sitting here holding it, waiting on it to drain. And with it being hot, you know, I felt like maybe having the rubber band around here would be a better idea. When you're draining this, the cloudiness that you see in here, that's the water. The clear stuff is your tallow. So I am going to move this out of the way, and I have this really fine mesh strainer, and it actually fits perfectly. I use this a lot of times. Fits perfectly in my 2-quart pitcher. And so I'm gonna take, because there's a lot more bits and pieces in this, and this is light enough now, I can get some pot holders and I can pick it up and pour it in here. I'm gonna do that instead of pouring it onto this, because there's gonna be a lot of bits and pieces. So I don't wanna pour it on top of that. Then after I strain it from here, I'll pour it in there. And then I'm just gonna take this and I will actually just dump this in there. And sit that there. I don't know if you can see what in the bowl that I had. I'm gonna unplug this. I don't need this right now. We will use it again later after this cools though. Can you see the difference in this? This is water down here. This is your tallow up here. I'm still going to pour it in here because I want all of everything to settle to the bottom. Then the next few times I'm not going to use water. And I think I might, since this doesn't have any bits and pieces in it, I think I'm going to take this off. Now I'm gonna let this cool a little bit, and once it cools just a little bit, I'm not gonna let it cool all the way. I'm gonna put some saran wrap on here, and then I'm gonna carry it out to our Ohana. We have a refrigerator out there that is not used, and it has lots of space in it for me to be able to put this in and let it harden up. And then after it hardens up, I'll bring it back out and show you what we do next. Okay, we are back. Our tallow has been put in the refrigerator, and we are ready to take it out and basically scrape off, take it out of the bowl, scrape off any of the well, we're gonna drain the water off of the back side of it because the water should all be on the bottom. And we're going to scrape off any of the gunk stuff and impurities. And then we're gonna put it back in our roaster and let it melt again. So this is a several-day process that we will go through to get our tallow clean. So what I had said earlier about these bowls being good is because, you know, as you can see right now, it's stuck to the sides. But if you just pull on it a little bit, then it'll release it. There we go. It just released. And that is our tallow. So this right here is beef collagen. That is beautiful collagen. Look at that. So I'm going to scrape this off because we don't want this in our tallow. We want to just get rid of that for now. So I'm going to get a knife. And lift this off just beautiful. When you're making bone broth, this is what you actually want to see is, whoops, some of that dropped on the ground. You want to see collagen like this. But we're not making bone broth right now. We are rendering tallow, so we don't want any of that in our tallow. Let me wash my hands and pick up this piece that fell on the ground. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I am just going to scrape off this top here. Okay, this is the top of the tallow. So this is just some bubbling from where the water was, but I'm still going to scrape all of this because I want to make sure that I have a really clean tallow when I get done with rendering it. Okay, so right here my audio for some reason cut out. I am trying to explain. I'm going to continue scraping the top of the tallow where it had the bubbles, where the beef broth was a little bit sunk into the tallow. I'm going to just scrape all of that off until there is a clean level of tallow and there's no beef broth still in it. I'm going to cut it up into smaller chunks so that I can put it into my roaster pan. So it will be rendered one more time and to get out any of the final bits of impurities. Okay, so we are back in the kitchen again. This has been sitting overnight, and we are going to strain it and put it into the bowl. And I think the easiest way to do that is I've got my 100% cotton, like flour sack type dish towel. I'm going to put that over my bowl, and then I have a large rubber band, and I just am going to put that over the bowl to hold this in place. And then I have a big bowl or ladle so that I don't have to do a whole bunch of these. I'm just going to do several of these because this is too heavy for me to pick up out of here by itself. I need to empty some of it. So I am just going to strain it through here. Until I can get enough out of here to where I can pick this up. Hopefully you can see the top of this. And this is going to help filter out any more of the impurities. The only thing that will go through is the tallow and maybe if there's any water left in here. I don't think there is any water left, but we'll see when we take it out of the refrigerator. So basically I'm going to empty all of this in here. Then I'm going to put this, I'm going to cover it with saran wrap, and then I'm going to put it in the refrigerator. Now I should show you, let me, before I finish doing this, let me get the camera so I can show you what this looks like, because you can see that I believe there is some water in here still, and there's definitely stuff floating. So see, you can see right here there's some stuff floating in there, but then in the bottom you can see that there's some stuff that has settled on the bottom. So that right there is good to show why there you can see stuff floating there, why we are filtering it. And actually you can see in here where it's actually filtered out some of that already. So now all I'm going to do is take this off. I want to make sure and not drop any of that inside. And then I'll wash this in my sink before I put it in my laundry. Now all I'm going to do is I'm going to cover this with some saran wrap. I'm going to let it sit a little bit because it's a little bit too hot for me to pick up and carry. But I will be covering it with saran wrap. I'll poke one hole in the center just so that the saran wrap doesn't, because with the heat it'll make like a bubble. So I'll poke one hole in the center. I cover it with saran wrap just because it's easier for me to carry, so it doesn't slosh. And then I will be putting this in the refrigerator to harden. So you'll see me after it's hardened again. Okay, we are back with the tallow once again. We are going to undo it and see what it looks like. See if we need to render it down. Well, we do have to render it no matter what one more time, but it's a matter of, do we have to render it and refrigerate it and scrape it again, or is it clean enough to render and immediately can? So let's see what it looks like. Okay, remember I was saying the nice thing about this bowl, look how pretty that looks. The nice thing about this type of bowl is you can go like that and release it, and look at that. That'll flip out. But I want to flip it upside down. So there we go. So here you can see where there was a little bit of water and broth left over. We're going to scrape that off. It all looks really, really clean. So I think once I scrape this off, I think we're good to just go ahead and render it and then go ahead and can it after that. And I'm actually going to get a little paper towel. That way I just have something to put this on. This looks so nice. Now, if you're doing this and if you feel like it still has too much of a beefy smell, then you could choose to do more rendering with water. The more you render it with water, it kind of washes it and cleans it. I think this particular one, it's fine for what I'm going to be using it for. I can smell a little bit of beefy smell to it, but I think by the time I get done with what I'm going to do with it, I think it'll be fine. All right. That looks really, really nice. And see, that was not that much that I had to take off. Just that. And I just put it in this napkin so I can throw it away instead of having it go down my sink. This is hard to show. I don't know if I'll be able to show you up close, but that looks so clean. I've got this washed again. I've got it set on 150, and then I'm just going to break this up. As I'm cutting up this tallow to get it into the roaster, I want to take a moment to wrap up today's episode and also give you a little preview of what's coming next. When I first started the editing process, I quickly realized that this was going to be just way too long to do justice in one setting. So today's episode focused on rendering, taking raw, unrefined fat and gently transforming it into something clean, pure, and incredibly useful. In the next episode, we're going to move into the canning process. And let me just say, you're definitely going to want to come back for that one. Things did not go perfectly. I had a few unexpected blunders, and instead of hiding them, I'm going to show you what happened because that's real life in the kitchen. Things don't always go smoothly, but there's learning and growth in the imperfect moments too. So make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you will be notified and you'll be able to see exactly how it all played out. While I was rendering this tallow, something kept coming to mind. Rendering isn't just melting fat, it's a refining process. The heat, the time, skimming, and filtering, all of it is about removing impurities so that what's left is something good, something useful and beautiful. And it reminds me of what Christ has done for us. Just like this tallow begins imperfect and mixed with things that don't belong, our lives look the same way. We all carry things we wish we didn't. We fall short, but Jesus, through his sacrifice on the cross, offers a cleansing power we could never achieve on our own. He takes all of our sin onto him so that we can be made new and purified, restored. 1 John 1:9 says, if we confess our sins, he is faithful and just to forgive us of our sins and to cleanse us from all unrighteousness. And as I watch this tallow go from cloudy, full of impurities, to crystal clear, I see the truth in such a tangible way. He doesn't just forgive, he refines, he transforms, he makes us new. Thank you for spending time with me today, and be sure to come back for the next episode so you can see the canning process and how the canning process goes, blunders and all. And as always, until next time, stay rooted in faith, keep growing, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks so much. Okay, so I'll be back to show you what we do next to get ready to can.